Hey, what's up, guys? And once again, welcome back to Anime King 3. And today I'm going to be giving you actually part 3 of What If Naruto Unlock 100% of his brain. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also, guys, remember if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, I have 4 more channels. All of the links are down in the description, so go ahead and check out Anime King 2, Anime Symbol, Anime Prince. And obliterate that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new episode. Let us begin now, guys. So the last time we left off, as Naruto was once again in the IT department, Harrison made his way down there, wanting to understand what was Naruto's desire behind taking Mizuki out. Well, it was quite simple as Naruto and the others went to the room. Naruto enhanced Mizuki's pain receptors to levels of death, yes, but he kept his body alive, but Mizuki experienced death at least 10 times. He broke immediately as he told them all they needed to know. However, Naruto believed that he was just a waste of time. The Sani never truly trusted him or put his faith in him. After all, he was always sending a proxy to talk to him, but it seems like they have cut ties with him. If that was the case, it seems this proxy was close in terms of gathering information than more people expected. So with that, Mizuki was taken away. After all, he was a traitor to the village. Naruto expected for them to call him as they did call him, as he arrived towards the council room, where he sat down in front of each and every one of the members. They were now fully aware that his father was Minato and his mother was Kushina Uzumaki. As Naruto decided to quench their understanding, he knew that most of them was fearful of what he could do now. He also let them know that the fox was no longer with him. However, there was nothing for them to fear. If anyone was to step against Konoha, he would be here, and he would annihilate any threats. However, there were certain members that were curious about what exactly that he could do, and how he gathered that information on Mizuki, mainly Inoichi because his clan focused on the mind part of the, well, body, as Naruto showed them by using his shadow how he was able to get the information from Mizuki. Well, the meeting was a long one, and despite Naruto showing that he could be a great asset to help them along, many were fearful, yes. They were rather fearful of his actions now, given how he was treated when he was younger, and the power that he now possessed. Yes, it was a fearful thing to think about. Danzo Shimura had returned back to his underground lair as Naruto arrived. His root ninjas quickly sprung up. Danzo was taken aback, completely shocked to what he came across. Naruto told him that there was nothing to fear, as he wasn't his enemy. In this world, light needs dark, and darks need light. So he will allow Danzo to continue whatever he was doing. However, he told him that if he tried to kill the Hokage, he would annihilate him, as his action was to be to protect the village, not to go against it. So with that, a month and some time passed, as Naruto turned Tora into a ball. Sakura and Sasuke weren't surprised by this action. Naruto was doing things that really doesn't make any sense. And he tried to explain it to them, but they were just finding it hard to really understand what he meant by his words. Neither Kakashi was surprised either. Finally, they got a high rank mission, a C rank, as they made their way. Naruto already knew that Tazuna was lying about everything, as they came across the demon brothers, Kakashi faking his death. Naruto put the fear of Kami into the both of them, as they decided to flee instead of attacking. Tazuna begged the both of them, begged them to accompany him back to his home, to help his people, as the group agreed. So with that they continue on, until they came across Zabuza and Mamakai. Zabuza, believing that the kids were just that, kids, despite Naruto being older. However, he soon come to realize that he was out of his league here after capturing Kakashi, as Naruto took him on in Kinjutsu. However, there was so much opening that Zabuza left, as Naruto was fast enough to exploit all of them, but he did not. Freeing Kakashi was his only goal, as he told him to go ahead, as Kakashi turned his gaze towards Zabuza, ready to end this. Unaware to any of them, though, even Naruto, someone was standing by. Yes, someone was watching them. This person, whoever it was, it seemed to smile when it saw Naruto. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the play check of yourself. So what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode, shall we? Let's begin now guys. We begin this episode with Kakashi Hatake as he slowly wake up and open both of his eyes. Kakashi was immediately confused. His gaze looked towards the window as he saw a shadow, as Naruto was seated on the window, gazing outwards. As there was a book in his hand, Kakashi realized that Naruto was reading his book. As he tried to pull himself up, but his body was in pain. What the hell? Kakashi pulled himself up, confused on what was going on. Ah, you're awake, said Naruto. You know, the fact that you walk around reading this in public is truly baffling. What happened? Said Kakashi, trying to understand what the hell was going on. As he reached up to his face, he looked around as he spotted a small little mirror. Stepping towards it, Kakashi found his gaze looking back at him, a gaze that he had not seen since he was a child. He was shocked. How is this possible? He said. He couldn't understand how. Was this actually possible? Both of his eyes were dark. He couldn't understand. As he felt it, Kakashi sent chakra to his eye as it switched into the Sharingan. The man was completely taken aback. His gaze immediately snapped towards Naruto. What did you do? Oh, that. While you were asleep, I decided to perform some surgery on you. You performed surgery on me, Kakashi said, not knowing how to respond to that. Yes, your battle with Zabuza. Even after you won, you were exhausted because of the overload of chakra from using the Sharingan. While it is incredibly helpful in battles, it's not quite suitable for you at all. You don't have the strength that the Uchiha bodies possess to handle the stress of those eyes. So I decided to change that. Wait, are you saying that you turned me into a Uchiha? No, said Naruto. I simply took the residue special chakra from the eye and mixed it with your own. And while you were asleep, your chakra adapted to that kind of chakra. And all of the nerves and links lined up perfectly. I then restore your physical health. In doing so, think of it as an activation of sorts. Your body now believes that it's a Uchiha. The chakra that is flowing through you is quite the same as the chakra that a standard Uchiha eye would give off. So they're basically countering one another in order to give you the visual ability to turn the eye off and not use such a high quantity of chakra when in use mid-battle, Naruto said. Kakashi was stunned, speechless. Never thought that this would ever happen. I don't know what to say, he said. Naruto waved it off. You had a problem. I simply fixed it. There's nothing to really say about it, he said. As for Zabuza, you know he's not dead, correct? Kakashi remembered clearly what happened. The hunter nin. As he looked up towards Naruto. When did you find out? Oh, I knew the moment that they arrived. They were watching us the entire time. Why didn't you say anything, Kakashi asked. Well, for one, you were exhausted. And while I could have stopped them both, I chose to let them go. Why? Kakashi asked, confused. There's a lot more to this than the both of us know, he said, looking towards him. Besides, I think it's time that you start to train the others, Naruto said, glancing through the window. Time skip. Sasuke was confused as he saw Kakashi's eye. He demanded to know what happened as he came across Naruto. As Naruto started to speak, Sasuke did not understand a single thing that he was saying. Not one bit. The words were so complicated and so complex. He pretended like he understood though, before stomping off. Kakashi was going to begin their training early, given the fact that he was fully energized once again. The tree walking exercise. Naruto did not need to be a part of this, so he simply made his way off. To where to? None of them knew. Kakashi was not worried about Naruto's safety because he more than anyone knew that Naruto could protect himself against any threat around these areas. Returning back as the night was starting to get dark, Sasuke was panting as he could not climb the tree at all. Having a difficult time, Sasuke jumped slightly as he turned to see Naruto resting against a tree. Sakura was able to get it rather quickly. I guess that makes her better than you. Tch, she's not, Sasuke said. Then why can't you do it? Sasuke turned away from Naruto. You know, this would be much simpler if you simply use your Sharingan. Sasuke paused as he turned towards Naruto with his standard glare, without saying anything, before he turned back around. You could simply understand the amount of chakra that is needed by using your eyes. So why do you not do that, said Naruto. I don't have them, alright? Sasuke shouted at him. Yes, you do, said Naruto. Sasuke looked towards him like he was crazy. So you're gonna tell me what I have and what I don't have? Yes, because I can see the special chakra in your brain, similar to the one that Kakashi possessed with his. Wait, you can see in my brain? Think nothing of it, said Naruto. You've already awakened your Sharingan. As Naruto stepped closer, causing Sasuke to step back. Judging from the chakra residue, I would say that it was around 6 years ago. Immediately Sasuke remembered. Oh, I see. It was that night. Great trauma, or fear, anger, all emotions that spread from a violent part would awaken the eyes. Sasuke looked towards him. How do you know that? I know a lot about Konoha clans, and yours is one of them. I could help you reawaken your eyes. Given that you've already awakened them, it would be pretty easy, but also painful as well. Wait, you're telling me this entire time I've already awakened the Sharingan, Sasuke said. Exactly. Would you like me to help you reawaken them, said Naruto. And how exactly are you planning on helping me do that? Well, it's gonna be a bit painful, said Naruto. You just have to decide if you want to reawaken them or not. Sasuke thought about it and it was an easy option. Fine. Do it, he said, looking towards Naruto. Naruto held his hand out. The tiny chakra nanites started to form, a blade in his hand. As Naruto gripped the handle, Sasuke looked towards him confused. Sasuke cried out in pain as Naruto plunged the blade right through him. Naruto's hand snapped up and grabbed his mouth, silencing his scream. He slammed Sasuke in the tree, the blade breaking through the bark. Naruto pulled the blade out, causing Sasuke to scream once again. You shouldn't have accepted, said Naruto. And now you're going to die. And nothing that you have done before this point would ever matter because you will cease to exist. Your goals and dreams will no longer be a priority because you won't be alive to accomplish any of them. It's over, Naruto said as he pulled the blade back. Sasuke's eyes went wide. Sasuke slowly opened his eyes, confused, before he jumped up and checked his side. There was nothing there. His clothing wasn't even torn. Ah, you're awake. As he jumped up when he saw Naruto. You stabbed me, he said. Yep, pretty much, said Naruto. And this time if you don't fight back, you're going to die. Sasuke dressed back as he reached for his pouch, pulling out a kunai as he glared at Naruto. Finally, Naruto said as he held the blade out as it changed. It simply broke apart before it rearranged into a mirror. He tossed it. Sasuke caught it. What the hell? Look at it. Sasuke looked down with a shock look in his eyes. His left eye had one totem while his right had two inside of it. I guess you need to train a bit harder now to achieve the next level, said Naruto looking at him. Sasuke was stunned. He was starting to worry that he might never awaken his eyes, but now, looking at them, but his hand reached down towards his stomach. Why isn't my shirt tear? He said. You know, I did tell you that it was going to be painful, and you accepted, so you shouldn't be arguing about me stabbing you. And I simply fixed your shirt, said Naruto. Now, why don't you look at this? As Naruto walked toward the tree before walking up, Sasuke could see the chakra. Just use this exact amount of chakra and keep it stable, and you should be able to do it, Naruto said, walking off, leaving Sasuke there. Time skip. Iniri had been quite upset about them coming here believing that they could change anything. The child had run off as Naruto found him crying. Upon seeing Naruto, he quickly started to wipe his tears. Looking away. What are you doing here? He said. I heard someone crying. I thought I would investigate, said Naruto. I wasn't crying, Iniri said. Go away. You know, it's okay to cry and feel sad. After all, you're just a child, said Naruto. And I know that you're scared and that you're worried about your family. But there isn't anything to worry about anymore. Before we leave this place, I will ensure that I take care of Gato and free your people, Naruto said as he started to walk away. What do you think you are? Some sort of hero? Iniri said. Nah, not really. I don't see myself as a hero, nor do I see myself as 100% good either. But I figure, every now and again, I can do something to help those in need, Naruto said, walking away as Iniri watched him leave the area. As Naruto was making his way, he vanished. As Naruto landed on air. Yes, making air solid as he landed on it. Who are you? He said. Standing a few feet away from him was someone wearing a dark hood. You can see me, the person said. Yes, I can see you quite clearly. You say that as if your form is not physical, but it is. Well, you're right about that. But only those similar to myself can actually see me. I felt you. I was surprised. I never thought I would come across one so similar to myself ever again. The person pulled down their hood to show that it was a woman. She was the very essence of what the word immaculate and beautiful stand for. Her skin was like this flawless cream that seemed to just flow in a perfect pattern. Naruto could see the depths and understanding of a person, but this woman was twisted, complex. He was surprised and very, very intrigued. She had eyes that were as golden as the sun. It was like gazing into the beyond. And back, right back at yourself. Her hair was bright blue. It flew down into her hood as she smiled at him, her lips with a tainted red like cherry. Her smile was immaculate as she looked at him. She floated over towards him as Naruto stood there. She then flew forward as she placed a hand on his right cheek. What are you? Said Naruto. I can understand every single human by just glimpsing at them but you. You're complex. You're different. She kept on stroking his cheek with her finger. Don't worry. You will get there soon enough. Even now I can feel you growing, she said. At an extraordinary rate. You're correct about your assumption. I am not human. However, you will no longer be one either, she said. You and I are similar. And soon, we will be just the same. She leaned forward as she kissed him. Naruto didn't know what this sensation was. Granted, he's never kissed anyone before, but this feels different than he thought it would feel like. When she pulled back, she was smiling happily. I'll be waiting for you, she said. With that, she simply ceased to exist. She was gone. Naruto reached a hand up as he placed it on his lips. Having absolutely no idea for the first time what the hell just happened, and who the hell was that? For one thing though, she wasn't human. She was right about that. Then what exactly was she, Naruto thought, as he gazed up in the heavens. The next day, we find Naruto lying down in the field, simply relaxing. His eyes were closed, as someone slowly approached. The person gazed down towards him, remembering what happened when they first came across each other. When she saw him battling, it would be best if she simply end him right here and now. As she reached out, simply strangling him by ending his life. However, instead she shook his shoulder. Wake up. You might catch a cold out here, she said. As Naruto opened his eyes, dark hair and dark eyes greeted him. Oh, don't worry, he said. I'll be just fine. As he looked at her, he glanced down towards the basket. What are those? Oh, these? They're simply herbs. A friend of mine is sick, and I'm getting some herbs to help him, she said as she started to look around. Mind if I help, said Naruto. Of course not, she said. 2 eyes are better than one. The ones I'm looking for is these, she pointed towards the ones in her basket. Naruto glanced around. I see some over there. They started to walk. By the way, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Oh, I'm Haku, she said. The both of them shaking hands. As Naruto knelt down and started to pick the herbs. Tell me something, Haku. Why does someone as kind and sweet as yourself choose to serve someone as dark as Zabuza? The moment Naruto said that, a senbon was pressed right against his throat. 2 iron senbon to be quite precise. However, Naruto simply continued picking the herbs. Do not move, Haku said in a stern tone. Do not worry, said Naruto. I'm not going to stop you from helping Zabuza. I'm not going to intervene in what you're trying to do here. I said don't move, or else. You won't kill me, said Naruto. The best you will do is try to immobilize me. I can see it from your gaze. You're not a killer. However, you will do what is necessary. That is something I can respect, said Naruto. You said it yourself. I will do what is necessary. And you are a threat to Zabuza-sama, so I should eliminate you right here and now. If you feel that way, go right ahead, said Naruto as he continued picking the herbs. However, Haku was frightened as Naruto was now placing the herbs in a basket. Her senbon was no longer poking his neck as he stood beside her. No, that's not possible. There was no way, no human way someone could be that fast. What just happened, she thought. An illusion? You're wondering if I just placed you under an illusion or some kind of trick. Haku jumped away as Naruto was holding onto the basket. She was frightened. I'm confused, Naruto said, as he stood behind her, his hand on her back. What's this? She turned around, knocking his hand away as she drove the senbon toward his neck. She was about to immobilize him. However, once again he was gone. This time he was back on the ground picking some herbs, a distance away from her. As he came walking over, Haku was starting to panic. "Oh, I see," said Naruto. "You're wearing tight wrappings under your clothing. I presume that you tend to pretend to be a male. Given the kind of work that you do, and given how this world is set, a female is more targeted than a male. I can understand your plight, and more people will take you seriously. Despite the fact that one of the strongest person in this world, not including myself, is a woman, Lady Snaddy of the Hidden Leaf Village. But I can understand you and your situation, given how this world is," said Naruto. "Here." As he handed the basket to her, he was now in front of her. How are you doing this?" "What? Moving around?" "Speed and time is subjective to the user," said Naruto. "Your conception of speed is not the one that I can see. As I said before, I mean you no harm, but I want to understand why. Are you following someone like that? You're a very gentle soul, and I don't see why. You're going along with that man. Tell me if you wish, tell me if you don't. But I can promise you that I will not bring you any harm," said Naruto as he sat down. Haku looked at him. Something was very off about this person, but the more she knew, the more she could understand. However, her guard was still up. "Tell me, do you have anyone precious in this world?" "Precious? Yes, a precious person." "Unfortunately, I don't think so." "Not as of yet," said Naruto. "My parents, they were precious to me, but they died." "Oh," Haku said. "Well, mine died as well. And I didn't have anyone. Zabuza-sama, he came in my life and became my precious person, so I would do anything for him, even lay my life down. You said that I have a gentle soul, and you're not wrong about that. However, if it means keeping Zabuza-sama safe, I will take anyone down," she said. "I understand," said Naruto. "I suppose there is more to that story, but you don't trust me. However, it does not matter," he said. "Your death is not something I want to happen. I don't believe you deserve that," said Naruto. "When we do meet again, I'll make sure that you don't die." "Wait," Haku said, as Naruto turned towards her. "Why? You don't even know me." "You've already told me enough about yourself," said Naruto. "Besides, the only reason why we're enemies is because you guys are being paid to be our enemies." Time skip. Haku didn't know what to do, as she surprisingly did not tell Zabuza about her encounter out there. She didn't know why, but she believed that with his help, they didn't have to kill each other. As much as Zabuza-sama wanted to complete this mission, she didn't want him to risk his life to do so, and she almost lost him earlier. Time skip. "What are you doing?" Iniri asks, as Naruto was standing at the edge of the pier looking down. The other members had went to the bridge. Kakashi believed that Gato might come here to try and hurt the family. Therefore, he left Naruto behind. This has been going on for 3 days now, because he was sure that Naruto could wrap up any threat that was coming for the family and meet them on the bridge, and they could hold off any threat until then. Big changes has happened. Because of Naruto helping Kakashi with that issue of his, Kakashi would seem a lot stronger to many others, because he no longer have to worry about his chakra being constantly drained by the Sharingan. He won't get exhausted so easily. Therefore, his potential was greater than ever. At the moment Naruto was standing there, and Iniri got curious. Ever since the boy had talked to him, Iniri has been watching Naruto. There was just something about him that Iniri couldn't understood. His childlike curiosity getting the better of him. "Oh, I'm simply looking for someone," said Naruto. "Who?" Iniri asks. "A woman I met recently. However, she doesn't seem to be here anymore." That is when they heard a scream, as Iniri and Naruto quickly made their way. When they saw Tsunami, she was grabbed by one of the thugs There were two of them. Naruto did not seem concerned because he knew what was going on. "Leave my mom alone," Inieri said. Tsunami screamed at him to run, but he did not listen. Instead, he charged forward head first. "Cut him down," the other one said. As he pulled out his blade, Tsunami screamed. Inieri, running in like crazy as he thrust his fist out. Tsunami's eyes went wide in fear. Her son was about to get sliced down until Inieri's fist broke through the blade and crashed in the bandit's face. He was thrown. He slammed across the pier and crashed hard. The other one was shocked and confused. He quickly released the woman as he slashed towards the child as Inieri jumped. Inieri himself looked confused, but he turned in mid-air. He brought his leg down and crashed it on the bandit's shoulder. The man hit the ground with a boom. Inieri landed. Inieri, Tsunami said, looking rather shocked. She couldn't understand. How the hell did he do that? She had to ask, how did you... Oh, that was me, said Naruto. You? Inieri said, looking towards him. Well, you said there was no such things as heroes. Well, I've just proven to you that you are one, he said. But how did I do that? I simply multiply the force around the edge of your fists. Think about it as a... You know what? Naruto said as he knew that the kid wouldn't understand. I simply made you stronger for a short amount of time. Don't go doing anything stupid like that again though. Because it's only a one-time deal. Inieri thrust his fist out. I guess you're right, he said. Naruto pat him on the head. Well, it seems like it's time I end this once and for all. You're a good kid who've just had many bad things happen to him. However, you're in charge of your own destiny and your own fate. You're also a hero that stood up for your own mother despite whatever was going to happen. Naruto said as Inieri started to tear up. Remember that, kid. Naruto started to levitate off the ground, the bandits coming up with him as well. See you soon, he said as he took off, making sure to check if there was any more threat nearby, but there wasn't any. Inieri looked towards his mom. He had an idea. Meanwhile, Sasuke was having a hard time taking on the hunter Nin. Haku was desperately trying to find Naruto. She didn't want to kill the Uchiha. She believed that Naruto had a way for none of them to lose their life in this. But her master was so insistent that they fought, and she wanted to serve Zabuza-sama because she was his tool. So yes, she had to fight. However, the Uchiha was so stubborn. Sasuke was putting up a better fight, having time to work with his Sharingan given that it wasn't much time, as Sakura was guarding the client. Hey there, Sakura. Sakura and Tazuna spun around as they saw Naruto. Is my family? Don't worry. They're fine, said Naruto. I think you'll see them soon enough, he said. What's the situation? Sasuke is trapped in that ice dome of sorts, and Kakashi-sensei is fighting against Zabuza. You have to help him, Naruto. Don't worry, Sakura, he said. You've done a wonderful job protecting the client. I'll handle the rest. As Naruto walked forward, seems like you're having a difficult time in here. Sasuke was shocked as Naruto was beside him. How did you... Easy now, said Naruto, you did your best. But I have to say she's stronger than you. But you will get there soon enough. Sasuke was on one knee panting. Do something, he said. That's why I'm here. After all, I am your comrade. And I do have your back. Haku. Haku materialized in front of the mirror. Stop this. I can't. And you know that. Fine, said Naruto. I'm going to restrain you for the time being. I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that. This is not like before. With these mirrors, my speed is beyond your comprehension. Naruto chuckled slightly. I told you before, speed is objective to what? It is in your reality. But for me, Naruto started to bounce from side to side, from side to side, from side to side. The faster anything goes, the faster my imagination, the faster reality bends, the faster time seemed to stop, the faster I seem to move. And then, nothing. He simply ceased to exist. Sasuke and Haku were confused. So do you understand now why speed is irrelevant to your understanding? Where are you? How are you? Hi there. Haku was shocked as she jumped out of her own mirror. She couldn't believe it. That was impossible. He entered her mirror. As Naruto stepped out, every single mirror shattered. I guess my existence inside of your domain was too powerful, he said. She quickly brought up two senbons. Sasuke saw his opportunity as he launched a massive fireball towards her. As she had jumped back, not even focusing on the Uchiha, she thought that he was down, but clearly he was not. She jumped out of the way only for Naruto to hug her. Yes, he was hugging her as he held her. Haku tried to move, but physically, she could not take his arms off of her. And she felt so tired. So tired in his embrace. She suddenly fell asleep right in his arms. What did you do? Sasuke said. I simply put her to sleep, said Naruto. Don't worry, she's fine. She's the enemy. Why should I be worried? And how do you know her? She's not really an enemy, said Naruto. As I told you earlier, she is powerful. She could have ended your life. Don't take it badly, but she never wanted to kill you. Sasuke-kun, Sakura said. Seeing Sasuke okay, but the needles. Naruto stepped towards the Uchiha as he placed a hand on his head. Sasuke felt a strange sensation as his chakra imploded. Just slightly as the needles flew out of his body. Sasuke clenched his fist and opened it. You healed me. I never knew that you could do that. There's a lot I can do that you don't know. But I didn't heal you, I simply sped up your chakra recovery and lessened your stamina limit. What? Never mind, said Naruto. As he started to walk away, Haku. He was holding her like a bride. As Naruto arrived in the midst of the battle that was going on. Enough! Zabuza and Kakashi came to a stop. Zabuza looking worse for wear. Kakashi wasn't that bad off. Stop this fighting immediately, or else I'll kill her, said Naruto. Zabuza grit his teeth under his bandages. Kill her, and I'll cut you and your sensei down, he said. Ah, fake bravado, said Naruto. However, I can tell from here that you desperately don't want that to happen. Tch, Haku is merely my tool, you fool. It doesn't matter what you do, I'll cut you and your sensei down. Is that so, said Naruto. In an instant, Zabuza found his throat gripped. What the hell? He raised his blade, however, his arm snapped the opposite way as the blade fell from his palm. Naruto slammed him against the railing. With one hand, the other one he was still holding on to Haku. She was now draped over his shoulder. Is that really how you feel? Naruto said, looking directly into his eyes, that her life does not matter to you after everything she's done. After all that she sacrificed for you. Choose your words carefully. If you lie to me, I'll simply end your life without thinking, and then I'll kill her next because she's the enemy. So I'll ask you one more time. Do you not care for her life? Answer me truthfully, said Naruto. As he wasn't trying to compel or do anything to tamper with Zabuza's mind. This was his own free will. Zabuza found himself in a sticky situation. His right arm was completely busted, and for some reason it felt like his entire body weighed so much as he couldn't get up. And the kid was barely holding on to him. What the hell was going on? Just who was this? He wasn't someone that loved to put his feelings out there. However, he cared for Haku deeply, and he didn't want her to die as much as he tried to pretend like he did not. That was just a way for him not to show how much he truly cared. I am the one that was hired to end the bridge builder, not her. So if you want to kill someone, why don't you try and kill me, you brat? Naruto simply chuckled at his remark. What the hell is so funny? You know, even in facing death, you still don't want to be vulnerable, emotion-wise. But I can understand, given someone of your caliber and the kind of ninja that you are. So, you heard that, didn't you? How much he truly cares for you. As Naruto placed Haku down, her eyes were open up. She was awake. You might think of yourself as a tool. He might even say that a few times, but he deeply cared for your existence, Naruto said. As Zabuza glared at Naruto. Besides, we're no longer enemies, if you would take a look over there. Turning their gaze, they saw Gato and his men arriving on the bridge. What the hell are you doing here? Zabuza said, well, I just wanted to see how things were going, and I must say, it's rather pitiful. The amount of money that you're asking for, and yet, you can't even defeat these damn ninjas. It's a good thing I decided not to pay you. What? Can't you see? I no longer need your services. Alright, boys. This is your time to shine. Excuse me. Gato blinked as Naruto stood in front of him. So you're Gato. Gato was frightened. Where the hell did he come from? You're really short, said Naruto. Shorter than I expected. Gato quickly stepped back. Kill this one first. As Naruto merely chuckled, his gaze swept over the entire group. All of them froze. All of them started to scream. It was a rather loud scream. Gato turned as he looked towards them. What are you doing to them? They're pretty weak, said Naruto. It's rather easy to go in and manipulate their chakra. I just made their chakra destable. They're not strong enough to block me. If they were an average ninja, even Chunin, maybe they would, but these guys are truly pathetic, said Naruto. Gato watched as his men started to swell, their skin turning purple before, boom! They exploded. Blood showered guts. It was a violent, gory scene. Everyone was shocked. Gato was scared shitless as Naruto stood there, as all the blood and body parts that remained fell down. Naruto's face did not show a shred of empathy or caring. Zabuza had to ask, what the hell is he? Kakashi himself was frightened, never knowing that Naruto possessed the ability to do something like this. All of them dead in an instant. Gato tried to run, however he slipped on the blood and hit his head as he tried to crawl away as Naruto picked him up by the back of his shirt. That is when Naruto glanced up as he saw. Hey there, Iniri, he said. Despite the distance that he stood, his voice reached them perfectly. As I told you before, said Naruto, there was nothing to worry about. The people were shocked. Here he is, the one that has put you all through hell. And I shall make sure that he never do that again. As Naruto plunged two fingers directly into Gato's skull, the man started to scream and twist. As he started to scream, his body breaking, his bones snapping and rearranging. As Naruto was tampering with his genes and his DNA, Gato dropped down to the ground. No longer Gato. He was a really ugly dog. Just like the dog that you are. The scared little dog ran away. As the people watched him, he simply ran away. They were shocked, however, they were also so happy. It was over. Haku and Zabuza were caught off guard by that. Kakashi was as well. Sakura and Sasuke, who arrived on the scene, saw the dog. They were confused on what was going on. as the client was right behind them. As Naruto pressured the moisture in the air, water started to simply rain out of nowhere, washing the bridge off, allowing all the blood and parts to float down into the water and vanish soon after. As Naruto stepped towards Zabuza, seems you made the right choice. You get to live and go on from this day. Here, he said. A few of Naruto chakra nanites jumped towards Zabuza. Zabuza felt his bone in his arm rearrange and heal. He was shocked. I am in a good mood. I never thought one could be so happy from helping others. I feel like a hero, said Naruto. So why don't I do some more? Naruto held his hand out. His fingers started to break apart into what seemed like dust, however. It was a small nanites, thousands of them, as Naruto's right arm was completely gone. The bridge started to tremble. He watched in astonishment and awe. All of them did. What would have taken them a few more weeks happened in a few seconds. The massive, colossal bridge, steel, wood, come together. As all the nanites returned and refixed Naruto's arm together, everyone was baffled. The place was silent for a long while until they all exploded in cheers. Grateful and beyond thankful. Time skip. I thought you left, said Naruto. It was the day after. We should already be gone, however. I wanted to see you before I leave. Haku said. You had the capability to end your life. Instead, you helped us. I didn't ask you to do that, and yet you were trying to prove to me that he does care about me. But I thought you were against me working with him. I never said that, said Naruto. Why? Why did you do all of this? I don't really know, said Naruto. I guess I just want to enjoy being a ninja and doing things. After all, look at these people. They're so grateful and happy. For my intervention, they see me as some sort of hero. And that's a good feeling to feel, said Naruto. Well, I'm grateful to you as well, she said to him. I don't know how I can repay you. You can kiss me, said Naruto. Haku was taken aback, her cheeks becoming slightly red. What? She said to him. I want you to kiss me. Another feeling I'm trying to explore and to understand, said Naruto. If you have a problem with it though, you don't have to. I've never. She said, looking away. It's alright, said Naruto. I just wanted to. He was cut off. As she kissed him, surprisingly. It only lasts for a few seconds as she pulled away, her gaze not looking at him, as she seemed to find the ground, very interested. Naruto reached up as he touched his lip. It was different, he thought to himself. Thank you, he said to her. I don't believe that this will be the last time we cross each other's paths. So I will see you again soon, he said. Goodbye for now, he said to her. Yes. Goodbye, she said. Looking at him, she couldn't believe that she actually do that. She didn't know why, but she just went for it. She watched him leave, now feeling strange. She's never felt this way about anyone close to her age before. She was 15 years old. She's only came across grown-ups or people much younger, but he looked like he was 16. As she felt weird, these unknown feelings, he said that they would meet again. Haku. She turned. Zabuza-sama, are you finished? Yes, she said. Let's go then, he said. It's time to get out of this place. Yes, Zabuza-sama. With that, the both of them made their way. Time skip. Zabuza was surprised as he was informing Haku about what he recently found out. That brat that we met in the land of Wave. He's no ordinary brat. Turns out that he's a son of Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage of Konoha. No wonder he was so powerful. The fourth Hokage, the one with a special teleportation ability. But Zabuza-sama, that wasn't anything that Naruto showed. Still remember his name quite well, huh? Well, it wasn't that long ago, she said to him. If you say so. Well, I'm sure there's a lot on that brat's plate. After all, if I know that, I'm sure that many enemies of the fourth Hokage is also aware of that as well. Time skip. You called for me, said Naruto, as he stood within the office in front of Hiruzen. Hiruzen was rather shocked when Kakashi came back. He thought that Kakashi had an eye transplant while he was gone, but, well, they were wrong about that. Naruto's name has gotten a lot more popular. Even with the reveal that he was Minato's son, everyone was talking about him, but now, he got a bridge named after him. The Great Naruto Bridge. And everyone, everywhere was talking about him, and about his sudden appearance, and also his strength. They wonder if he would take the mantle as, just like his father. As Naruto sat down, Hiruzen wanted to talk to him. In the past, despite there being no afflictions with certain villages, they have still never put a foot forward to enter the Chunin exams when being held by a village that they don't truly care about or want to attend. However, Kumo is sending teams to our exam. This is something that has not happened before throughout history. And the worst one is the Hidden Stone. I've also received word that they are going to be sending participants to the exam as well. I believe their main goal of the exams is to defeat you, to find a way to humiliate you, to find a way to even, perhaps kill you. Hiruzen said. Oh, I see, said Naruto. Because of my name growing, they want to show that their village is stronger, and they also want to eliminate a future threat. Yes, exactly, Hiruzen said. Well, there is nothing for you to worry about, said Naruto. I doubt that any one of these teams possess the necessary force to end my life. But I suppose you're worried, so I will tell you that I will be careful. Wait, so you're not going to be careful? Yes, I will, but I just want to assure you that everything was going to be fine, said Naruto. There will not be any affliction, I suppose. Given the past history of this village and their village, I will make sure that everything is standard and goes on correctly. I'm just giving you a heads up, Hiruzen said. And also, Jiraiya will be returning to the village. Ah, the porn director. Porn director? Yes, I've read his books, and that's all they entail, except for the scene on the beach in Volume 3, where there is nothing really going on. What are you talking about? That's the most explicit scene in the entire book series. Hiruzen quickly shut his mouth, as Naruto had an amused look on his face. Just wanted to confirm my theory, said Naruto. My theory on you being a closet pervert, he said, walking away. I'll take my leave now, he said, leaving an embarrassed Hiruzen. As Naruto made his way, he had not seen that woman ever again. Since that time, Naruto knew that she was out there, but he did not know where she was. As of this moment, she was stronger than him. Greatly so, whatever she was, he could not read her. However, he was still nowhere close to reaching his full strength. Nowhere close. However, she was still stronger than him now. After all, he wasn't omnipotent, he wasn't some kind of god. His body still retained normal, physical human characteristics. She said it herself. She knew about his evolution. She knew that he was growing in strength. He wanted to know who exactly she was, to learn more about her, but she was not returning for reasons that he was not sure why. When he kissed her, well, when she kissed him, and when he kissed Haku, the feelings were completely different. Haku's kiss felt genuine and beginning. Like there was a beginning and an end, but kissing that woman, it felt like there was no end. Just the beginning and forever. Limitless. Yes, it felt limitless. As did her very touch. As Naruto made his way, As he was walking, girls, some his age and some older, they waved at him. They smiled at him. He supposed his good looks were really coming in handy. As he made his way off. Time skip. Her name was Kurosaki. She wasn't your average individual. She was 15 years old. And she was going to be attending Konoha Chunin exams. She was specially trained. Yes, because she was the granddaughter of Oniki, the Tishikage. She was never placed on a team. No, she was not. She was specially trained by the elites within the village. That is why her rank was just genin. She was even given a special teacher that would do field promotions with her, but the Tishikage stopped this because he had an idea. He wanted to find out a lot about the movements that Konoha was making. Konoha has kept the identity about Minato's son for some time now. And Oniki, knowing that starting a war right now would just lead to countless dead, instead he was going to humiliate them. He heard about the bridge being named after the boy, ruined his reputation by having his granddaughter obliterate him in front of thousands during the Chunin exams, would prove once and for all that the hidden stone is the strongest. He was sure that he wasn't the only one thinking this. This boy has basically become a deterrent, having the last name being connected to Minato. There was many that hoped to defeat him to show that their nation was stronger, as he was what was holding Konoha up right now. His name alone. Not even the last Uchiha, not even the Hyuga clan. No one else but him. Because many was excited to see what he was truly capable of and how truly strong he was. So to have someone from another village come in and wipe him out, well, you understand the popularity and the amount of support they will gain from the other nations and people wanting to hire them for missions. Oniki was right, he was not the only one thinking about this. The Raikage was also thinking the same thing. Despite the fact not trusting Konoha, this was an event that he just couldn't pass up. Not at all. Time skip. As Naruto stood in mid-air, as he was standing over a giant volcano, it was inactive. Recently he thought about the Sannin. As he thought about one of their main attributes, that being their summoning, Kurama was a friend of his, as he didn't see him as a summoning animal. As Naruto figured that he should create his own summoning animals that could be passed down through generations and generations. Well, he will always exist, but still passed down to those that he believed that are worthy for it. The reason why he was above the lava was pretty simple. He was about to... Naruto paused. She appeared. She simply just appeared in front of him. One moment she didn't exist, the next she did. Hello there, she said. Her golden eyes fixated on him. I thought I would never see you again, said Naruto. Why did you think that, she said. You simply vanished. And unlike most, I cannot track you, he said to her. Oh, I apologize for my rude disappearance, especially after showing physical contact with you by kissing you. Although, I suppose that wasn't a bad thing, was it? It wasn't bad, but it was unusual, said Naruto. Unusual? Didn't you like it? I do not know, he said to her. I understand, she said to him. Our existence is not limited to human contact. Who are you? Said Naruto. I'm afraid that you're not ready for that just yet. However, you will be soon enough, she said to him with a smile. But know this, she said as she placed a hand on his cheek once again, caressing his whisker marks. You and I are meant to be together. Why? Said Naruto. I don't even know you, and you refuse to tell me about yourself. Because it's too early, she said. There's a lot you still don't understand, but you will soon. I can feel it, your growth. It's not slowing down anytime soon. Soon you will be able to see what I can see and understand what I can understand. And then you would see that the both of us are meant to be together, she said to him. Until then, know this. I will always be there, she said. With that, she passed right through him as she ceased to exist once more. As Naruto looked around, she was nowhere to be seen once again. Something felt off. Her words, they seemed genuine, but something was just not right. Something was blocking him from seeing what he should truly see. And he still don't know what the hell she was. However, there was no time going over that because there wasn't anything that he could do about it now. As he looked down towards the volcano down below, Naruto started to bend matter itself. As he started to use his nanites as well. He started to use his chakra as well, breaking the space in front of him as he flew straight down. The combination of what he was doing was going to be truly amazing. As Naruto floated straight down in the inactive volcano, it was a part of his creation. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want something sports and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off now, see you guys soon. Peace.